Jana, we're here at the southern end of Australia's Great Barrier Reef at One Tree Island. And I saw you out in the lagoon this morning with this big yellow tank or bag and the pumps and all this sort of stuff. Maybe you can tell us what you were doing.
We were adding sodium hydroxide to our big 10 cubic meter tank and increasing the alkalinity inside the tank. And then we were pumping the more alkaline water onto the reef.
And why would anyone want to do a crazy thing like that?
We want to show that ocean acidification has already an impact on coral growth.
How are you going to tell whether the ecosystem actually grows more rapidly or not?
We pump our alkaline solution onto the reef on one rim, and at low tide we have a bathtub kind of reef. So at low tide the water is lower on the outside of the reef, so we have a constant flow over the reef. When we pump the alkaline solution here, it flows down the reef, and we collect samples at the front, we collect samples in the back, and then we can compare the alkalinity, and from there we can deduct the coral growth.
And this has been done many times before?
No, that's the first time.
And so today you were pumping the solution over the reef. Did you see the reef grow faster?
No, today was the first time we actually got the tank to work. That took us quite a while. We came into a few problems with that. You can only plan that much when you're on a board or a piece of paper planning, designing the experiment, and then once we figured out how to resolve those problems, we went out there in rougher conditions. We tried the tank out here in the lagoon, in the beach where it's no wind and stuff, and there we already had problems in the beginning when we were confident enough to go outside, and that was today. We got up at 4 in the morning, got everything packed and got ready, left the bay when the first bit of light was enough to see where the boys are to go, and then we deployed the tank in front of the reef. And by the time that we would have been able to sample, the tide was not low enough today anyway, but the tide was coming already back, so we couldn't take samples.
But we had a big success today. You engineered this tank, you designed this pumping system, and it all worked.
It all worked
right,
today.
And so you must be trained in this kind of engineering, right?
No,
okay.
No, not engineering. We had a big party on the boat when it was actually pumping. We were very excited about that. But
so
it was more just planning and thinking how it could work.
So where did you learn how to do this?
I didn't learn how to do this. I'm a chemist by trade. It was more discussion with people and feedback and designing and thinking and how it could work.
I guess what's the next big step?
The next big step is successfully do it on a low tide that is low enough to have the good flow, and then collect the samples in the front and collect the samples in the back and get the analysis done.
So when do you think you might be able to make measurements that would show whether the reef is growing faster or not?
In 4 days.
4 days? That's rather ambitious.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in 4 days we will have our first run of proper sampling and proper setup and getting the samples back.
I can see you're a born optimist here. So, and so you've been doing this kind of work all your life, apparently.
No, not at all.
No. So how many times have you conducted experiments like this?
Conducted experiments like this?
Yeah.
Never before.
Never?
No.
So how'd you get into this then?
With luck. And
Good luck or bad luck? What was that?
good luck.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
You say that now. Okay.
Yes.
Do tell.
Yes. I'm a chemist by trade.
Okay.
So I studied chemistry. I did my undergrad chemistry, postgrad chemistry, PhD in chemistry. So I'm a very pure applied chemist in organic chemistry. But I always wanted to get into geochemistry. So I saw a few positions and I applied to them, and I met you and could convince you to take me on the team.
And with no field experience whatsoever, you were made scientific lead of this expedition?
Yes.
Seems rather reckless of somebody, anyway.
Of you.
Okay, so we'll. I guess we'll check back in you. So you're saying if we check back in with you in 4 days, we'll have the answer to this question?
No, not the answer to the question, but we will have hopefully our first full experiment to get the samples back.
Well, we might be quite busy around that time, but
Yes.
we'll check back with you maybe in a week's time or so and see how things are going.
Yes.
So thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay, great.